Hi everyone, Shane R. Monroe here. Today I want to talk about PlexAmp, but this time we're going to look at it on Windows. I just wanted to show you around, show you how it works, what it does. And so this is all tied to a Plex server. I have some, my friends have Plex servers, but all of my music is stored on a Plex server. Now on this main interface, you have recent plays, recently added music, recent playlists, all sorts of good stuff, and this is all controllable, as we'll see when we go through the settings menu a little bit later. So this is your home screen. Here's your library screen that tells you everything you need to know about your collections, artists, albums, types of moods and styles of your music. Everything is here beautifully laid out for you to take a look at and allow you to consume your library in various different ways. I dig this. I'm sort of one of those weird numbers geeks that like to see everything categorized and numbered. Your folders, everything is here. Now here is your search. Now there's a lot of things going on with search, including these oral fixations. Great, right? I love that. So you can start typing for something to search for. And I swore I had Hotel California on here, but I apparently did not. So we'll find something else. So let's search for the Eagles. I do have an album and an artist is listed here as well. And if I go look at their greatest hits, well, Hotel California is not on there. That's okay though. So I can look at the artist and get all that sort of information. It's pretty neat, right? This is a pretty neat search tool just in general, but there's more stuff that you can do with this. So you can look down here. There's something called Sonic Sage. That's all driven by an AI thing. You have to put your key in. You got to pay for it. Screw that. But they do have something called Sonic Adventure, which is their own version. Simply grab something and then add something else. They need two things to sort of, cross over with. And I was looking for a smoky song here. Good enough. All right, so now I've got two songs, and if I hit, or two groups, if I hit play, then I will get a list. And you see it's building me a list. So for those people who love non-curated lists that like that random nature of music, you can still get that based on just picking sort of what you're in the mood for. Let me throw a couple of bands in here and let's see what we get. So that's pretty neat. Let's go ahead and go back. And there's, of course, a couple of other ways to do some searches as well. You can use, say, top artists, right? And this can be based on your own stuff, like my top artist based on weekly plays. So that's kind of cool. It's you. It's all about you and your collection and your library and your music and the way you consume it. And it's not tied to somebody who's gathering your data to sell it to nasty corporations out there. All right, so here we have downloads, and we'll show you a little bit more about downloads in a minute, how you can download playlists and have them offline. Now, you're probably not ever going to be offline, not with your computer and sitting at home or whatever. This is more useful for, say, a mobile device or if you're traveling, right? When I used to travel to Vegas, there was some dead periods on my phone. Traveling to California, there were some dead places on my phone. But you can, simply use the interface to build yourself playlists or even the curated playlists. And once you have the playlists, let's see if I can find a playlist here. Where is it? There it is. So I grab a playlist of recently played music, and now I can use the download feature. And once you start downloading it, you'll see them all queue up, and you have complete control what formats you download, or at least what music quality you download. And of course, you can always offload this whenever. Now, as I mentioned in my Hibby M300 video, you don't really have the ability to point to that music from another source, like say Fubar or something like that. So it's very self-contained inside of its ecosystem. Let's take a look at some of the things under settings, right? So here's your Plex account. I'm logged in. This is the source. I have a lot of friends with Plex servers. Language, of course, there's a billion languages here. I bet yours is amongst them. Experience. This thing lets you drill down everything. I mean, it really is by Audiophiles for Audiophiles. So you can change just about anything. You can change how the player works. You can change if you want to see codec and rating, for example. You can use a 5-star rating or a 1-star rating system. So there's all sorts of stuff, side-by-side layouts, show album years, all that good stuff. It's all available. Even make changes to music playback speeds, all sorts of stuff. I mean, you could sit here all day and dig through these, but skipping sometimes can be useful too. So your home screen, here's where all of those sections are laid out. So if you don't like where one is, you can move it. If you don't like having one of those, you can just hide it, right? So it also lets you do this on a per server basis. So maybe you want one configuration for your server, but your friend's music server, you want it to look a little bit different. So that's all completely customizable on a per server basis, which is pretty neat. So now I no longer have that one section and I don't have to see it anymore. Neat. Grid size, font size, because, size matters. Your rating system, right? I mentioned this earlier, 1 star or 5 stars. I have it on 5 stars now, but pretty much a 1 star then becomes like your favorites, right? So let's go 1 star. By the way, this UI is loaded with quips and little funny verbiages, Kodak badges, right? Show off your HD music to your dog. I love that. But look at this. I mean, there's so much you can do. And I recommend everybody spend a little bit of time inside the configuration. You can even tie it to your desktop integration if you like. Right, so Playback, this is really cool. You want to make a run in here. So if you're on Ethernet or Wi-Fi, you want maximum. What sort of conversions do you want? Right, if you want conversions as it comes down. Your equalizer, I mean, there is an equalizer here. You can turn it on. It's got more equalizers than I've ever seen in my entire life here. Real audiophiles know what those probably are, but I don't. I don't tend to use the equalizer all that much. But I wanted to show you that it was here. Now, this remote control is damn cool. We're going to show you more about this in a minute towards the end of the video. This is something I didn't know about until I started making this video. So that'll be fun. I bet a lot of you don't even know about that. I sure didn't. So let's see, you can also include external media like title, external servers, things like that. I opted out of that. And degrees of separation between artists, right? So if they're trying to find other artists for you based on its searching, then you can say what sort of degrees of separation you want. Autoplay stuff, caching. Again, it's all in here. Whatever you want is probably in here. What you can't set is where the download folder is, which I thought was pretty weird, but you can set your download quality. Make sure you set that to maximum. There's no reason in our situation here on Windows not to have that. The OpenAI stuff, as I mentioned before, any way that you do this is going to cost you something. Even OpenAI, you need an API key that's going to cost you. That's probably about it for the settings. Let's go back to our home screen. And I'll just get this playing. Of course, you have a little visualizer if you like that sort of thing. And there's some really neat stuff in here too. This is something a lot of people don't know about. Show lyrics. Now, not only will it show you the lyrics, you can jump to them. Notice how as I'm jumping to the lyrics, I can jump through the song. That's kind of cool. And that's like out of the box. You don't have to pay for that or anything else. So that's pretty neat. And most of this stuff is fairly obvious. Share link is kind of cool for people in your Plex library. Now, this is neat. Guest DJ. So you can do stuff in here to control how the flow of music goes. Now, I'm just going to look at one of these. This one actually will insert basically 2 songs in a row. So you'll notice after I left John Cougar Mellencamp, that was 2 songs, right? Same artist after each track. So look at that. So I've got a Styx song playing and it automatically inserted another Styx. Now I've got Chicago playing and it automatically installed another Chicago song. So that's pretty cool. I mean, there's all sorts of this stuff. And in tandem with the remote, you could throw quite a party and never once touch your PC playing music and just use your phone to control all of this. And again, we're going to get to show you that in just a minute. Of course, you have your standard shuffles and replays. And of course, you can use Google Chromecast, but maybe not quite in the way you might think. Now, obviously, you could send it to another device while you're playing the song or while you're playing your playlist, right? So you can click here and you can see the players that are available to you. And here you don't really see much. I have an Android TV, but that's about it. Now, where this is really powerful is if you're using your phone as a remote control. So let's get that set up. All right, so now here's my phone. I'm going to look and see what I can connect with. And if you see here, I can connect directly to my PC, which is Shanebox. Once I'm connected, then I can do some stuff like basic playback controls. I can start playing the song, fast forward to another song, all sorts of goodies, right? So I can sit here, and then I can also flip over so that my interface matches their interface. So if we check this out, I'm actually playing, you can see in the background, I'm playing Chicago as well here, and you can toggle where the audio comes from. So if you want to cue something up, you could listen to it on your phone and make sure it is what it is. And you see here I'm skipping through tracks. Really cool stuff. I'm a big fan. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you about was sort of their intelligent playlist generation. Again, I know a lot of people aren't interested in making their own playlists, but there's things in here like artist mixing. So go and pick an artist or two or three and have it produce a playlist for you based on those couple of artists. Now, it stays inside with those artists, right? So you're only going to see, in this case, Billy Joel, Simon & Garfunkel. So let's add Paul McCartney and Elton John. And now we get more stuff, which is even more cool. So you can do that with artists. You can do that with albums, right? So you can do an album mix. Library radio, that's like your whole library. Just hit it and go, right? It'll just pick whatever from whatever. But you probably want other stuff like time travel radio, or in this case, we might want something a little more specific to a decade. So we could go and pick the 70s, and now you're going to get an instant playlist of just 70s music. And again, it's your music. You already know that you like it, right? So there's something kind of nice about that. And of course, you have mood radio. Pick a mood. What are you in the mood for? Energizing music to work out to. Or maybe you need to just kind of relax a little bit and play some ambiance, right? Get something a little quieter going on. But you have styles, right? So in this case, you could say, I'm looking for some dance rock, right? And so now you got Queen. Perfect. It's really neat. I mean, there's so many different ways of consuming your music. And again, it's your music. It's sitting on your Plex server. You may already have a Plex server set up and you're not using it for music. This is a great reason to do so. Listen, if you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys know what to do. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Shane R. Monroe. We'll see you next time. Take care.